Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Both, the 19th hole, and we're here to do a rookie guide for you all. And this is going to be for the upcoming fall major. A little bit late getting this out, but I was held up a little bit by the holidays and waiting on the hole designs. I do want to thank Ian McIntosh for getting the hole designs to me last night. He wasn't planning on doing them, I don't think, until later today or Sunday, but he knew I needed them, so he was working on them last night, and he did get them to me. So I would just definitely like to thank Ian for that. And if y'all haven't done so yet, definitely check out his Golf Clash website at golfclashnotebook.io. A lot of good information and resource. It's a great resource there if you are new to Golf Clash or you've just never heard of it. Definitely check it out. So we're going to start here. This is a brand new course called Eagle Point. And this is the fall major, and this is the rookie guide. I will try to do the pro expert guide a little bit later tonight. And all right, so let's start here. We got hole number one, and hole number one is a par 4. So we start out with a par 4 here on this course, and we can go several different ways. As far as the ball goes here, I would definitely say something like a Quasar Titan ball. You want a ball with some side spin to it for sure. The two ways that I'm going to tell you and show you are this. The first way you can play is to the left-hand side. And if the left-hand side, you're going to be bouncing your ball somewhere around there on the fairway. And you're going to be jumping the ball through the trees, okay? You may hit the rough and roll out. You may hit the fairway. But you really want to roll into about that zone right there. I would definitely put a little bit of an adjustment to the shot off the tee box for that shot. Something about 20% right there. I use the extra mile for that shot. But, you could use a club with more top spin if you're playing, down low in the rookie and you do have a big topper, may be a good club to use for that hole. But yeah, more topspin is definitely better for that shot right there to get that roll out through the trees off the rough. So from that shot right there, if you don't get far enough to the left, you may have to worry about the edge of this tree right there. In that case, you're just going to land your shot a little bit farther to the left of that mark I put on the fairway. So normally if you have a clear shot, you'll be taking that shot with about a plus 10% adjustment in the wind, and you're going to play about 1 bar topspin. Now, if you have to take your shot farther left because the tree is in the way, you may want to use some right spin as well to kind of just guide that ball towards the hole. So 1 bar topspin, and use right spin if you need to, if your second shot is blocked a little bit by the tree. And that's how you play it to the left. So if you want to play it to the right, you're basically just going to blast this ball down the fairway as far as you can. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to make sure to use a power 3 ball for the shot. And I would say probably, I like to use my extra mile, but you could definitely use the big topper here as well. So you're going to be aiming your ball to land somewhere in this zone right here off the tee box. And hopefully you're going to get a roll down to somewhere in there. The reason I say that is because you got this tree line right here. So, if you want a straight shot at the hole, that's the way, you would have to make it. There is, if you're not able to get your ball as far down the fairway and you do end up maybe in this zone, there is a possibility to take your shot through these trees, to the hole as well. So definitely keep that in mind playing this hole. You can play left or you can play right. I think the left pathway is probably the best chance at getting the eagle on this hole for sure. And if you play it to the right side, you may want to use some left spin and curl to get it around to that hole to give yourself a chance at the eagle, but definitely a birdie. All right, moving on. Hole number 2. And hole number 2 is a par 3. We will play, this is a fairly decent downhill shot right here, so we will play this one at a 30% adjustment for the wind. So a 30% adjustment for the wind. Let's say we have 5 mile per hour wind. So a 30% adjustment for 5 miles per hour would be 4.5 miles per hour, because 10% of 5 is 0.5, so 0.5 three times would be 1.5. So 5 plus 1.5 would be 6.5 miles per hour. So you would adjust your shot as if the wind was 6.5 miles per hour, and that is a 30% adjustment. Okay? All right, so the way to play this hole is, I would say, with the Navigator and the probably the Backbone, I would say. Unless you have a Guardian in the lower level rookie or in rookie, in which case then you could take your shot a little bit more directly to the green with backspin. But if you're using the Backbone, you're going to be wanting to land your shot somewhere back in this zone right here. You want to try to find a spot on the fairway that gives you a fairly flat and a good bounce. You're trying to find that one bounce that is even. So I would definitely say if you're going to play it with the Backbone, you're going to be looking at about 2 bars of topspin for that shot. You're just looking for that consistent flat spot on the fairway. So you kind of move your target around a little bit. Watch that ball guide. Watch for a consistent landing area. So you don't want that line to be moving too far left or too far right, on the slightest change. So that's what I mean when I find a consistent landing spot. Consistent is flat, so that's what you want. So 2 bars of topspin for that shot. Try to aim it towards the hole as good as you can. It's going to be a tough hole to get the ace on, but you could get lucky with the roll and get an ace here at some point. Maybe once you kind of get the shot figured out a little bit more, you may be able to get it fixed and figured out. So the Guardian shot would be basically a full backspin shot. You'll take it to right there along the front edge of the green, and it's definitely a shot that you could probably get fairly close to the hole each time, but it'll definitely be a tough ace shot, no matter what you do. So the shot for the Backbone is going to come off the first tee box, land about there. You're going to bounce to about this zone right here and then roll towards the hole. So that's what that shot's going to look like. So another reason to find that consistent landing zone is because you don't want your ball to hit a bad spot and end up in the bunker here. That would definitely not be good. You also don't want to end up in the rough to the left. So it's very important to find that consistent landing spot for this hole. So we got hole 3 next, and hole 3 is a par 5. So hole 3, par 5. This hole right here is definitely going to be an interesting hole. I would say in the rookie, for the most part, you're going to find yourself playing it to the right side. I would assume to get some sort of a tailwind, and the right side is probably going to be your best bet. Extra mile, you could definitely use the big topper on this hole as well to use that full topspin and get you that extended amount of roll on the shot. I would definitely say you're probably going to want to be using a power 3 ball. If you are going to be using the extra mile and you don't have the big topper leveled up, at all, you could possibly even go up a little bit higher than a power 3 ball if you have a power 4 ball to use, and you just want to make sure you get that little bit extra power down that fairway. That would definitely be a possibility as well. I would take either Saturn or your Backbone to this hole for your long iron shot, because you will most likely be using the long iron for your second shot. Do keep in mind that the right-sided fairway kind of slopes right to left, so you don't really have to use a whole lot of spin on that shot. Definitely not left spin. So maybe 1 or 2 bars of right spin to kind of help counteract that fairway just a little bit, but you really probably don't even need to use spin at all. Just a top spin to get the ball down the fairway will be sufficient. So your 2 choices. So basically, this is what the drive is going to look like. Either you are going to be skipping your shot here over, or landing it right here and rolling down the fairway. Okay, those will be your 2 options. So for your second shot to the green, you're going to be playing a shot right there to the front edge of the green on the fairway with a lot of backspin to stop the ball. Or if you don't have a club with a lot of backspin, you can take your shot and play it to this back edge of the green, and it has a fairly decent slope back towards the hole. So you can kind of use that back edge of the green as a landing, like a backboard, and just filter your ball back down to the hole that way. And that would be the way to play that second shot. Now, if we for some reason get some sort of a right to left wind, that left side route may be in play. I have taken the shot and made it with the power curl shot, where you use full curl and then you over slice it to the left. It's a dangerous play, but it's definitely a possibility. With the Extra Mile 5, I played 11 ring extra adjustment plus the wind, and then full curl left and full slice or hook. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but it's either a slice or a hook. All the way left. So you pull your curl all the way left, and then you wait for that arrow to get all the way to the left side, and then you release it at full overpower. And, I was able to end up down in this zone right here. So it kind of looked like a shot like this, where it bounced and then rolled down the fairway. So something like that. It will work out. It just really depends on the kind of wind that we get for the shot. So I would not just go out and try that without trying to practice it a little bit first. And depending on what kind of club you have as a driver, it may change the amount of rings that you adjust initially off that measurement. So to find out what your adjustment will be for your driver, you need to go to golfclashnotebook.io, check out their power slice section, and there's a chart that gives you each driver, each level, and how many rings needs to be adjusted for each driver and the level that they are. So if you are going to go left and you end up with your second shot to the green, if you have a sniper, I would say the sniper would be the best way to go because of the ball guide. But if you don't, the Viper will be okay as well. You'll be landing somewhere up in here, rolling it towards the hole that way. And, that's probably your best chance at an albatross, honestly, is going to the left side. But, it could also be the riskiest when it comes to the drive. So, going to the right is pretty much a surefire eagle. Going to the left will give you that chance at the albatross, in my opinion. So I leave that up to you, and you can decide which way you want to play that hole. All right, so our next hole here is hole number 4, and it is a par 3. Write that down here, hole 4, par 3. I would play this one with a 10% adjustment for the wind off the tee box. Quasar ball or katana ball. You do want a ball with some side spin for this shot, and what ball you have access to may depend on which one you use. I prefer the katana ball here with a little bit extra side spin. You need a long iron, so you got to go with the backbone or the Saturn here. I prefer the backbone for this shot. And basically what I'm going to do is I land my shot somewhere in this zone right here. Okay, off the tee box, you land it right there. And using that top spin and right spin, okay, so about 1 bar top spin for this shot, and then as much right spin as you can use, or as you need to, get the direction to the hole. You're going to bounce right here over the edge of this bunker, land it somewhere in here, and then roll to the green. And that is the way you play this hole. 1 bar top spin and then right spin as needed for the shot. The reason why I like the extra side spin is because, if you don't have a ball with a lot of side spin, it forces you to play your shot a little bit farther back here to the right side along the edge of that rough line. And I just don't like the extra, hazard of that rough. A missed shot to the right, you may end up in the rough or the bunker. So with that extra side spin, we're able to actually adjust our landing zone a little bit farther left and up on the fairway and give ourselves, I think, a better chance at actually rolling it in for the ace. So this would definitely be one of those holes where you may see some aces this weekend. This may be your par 3 with the best chance to ace it, in my opinion. All right. So that's hole 4. Let's move on to hole number 5. And hole number 5 is a par 4. So I would definitely recommend on this hole going with another ball with side spin. I like the katana. You could use the quasar. You could even use the Titan ball if you want. Maybe you have a little bit lower level club that needs a little extra power. The Titan ball would definitely be a decent suggestion for this hole. I like the extra mile in this hole, but you can use the quarterback or the big topper. And the reason you may use the quarterback or the big topper on this hole would be if you need to use more curl. So let's say we have a left to right wind on this hole, and you're really going to want more curl, then either the quarterback or the big topper may be the play. But if we have just kind of like a tailwind, right to left, I would say the extra mile would be plenty fine for this hole. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to be playing the left side of the fairway here. We're not going to this right side. The right side of the fairway is out of play. So what we're doing is we're trying to land our ball somewhere in here and rolling it up that way with the curl, the top spin, and the left spin. All that together will give you the chance to roll your ball that way. If you watch my video that I posted the other day, I used the Quasar ball, and as you see, I came really close to the edge of that rough line on that island. So with the Katana ball, I would have definitely had a lot more room to spare. We still were able to sneak the shot through, so we were fine. But definitely, the more spin that you have available, the better. And sometimes, curl may be the extra answer to making that shot successful. So for your second shot, it's a very steep shot down to this green. This picture here just does not do the shot justice. It's probably at least a -20 to -30%. Now you have two options. You can try to land your shot up here or down here. If you're going to land your shot farther up the hill, that first dot I put, I would say it's a -20. If you're going to land your shot closer down to the edge of the green, I would say it's a -30% adjustment. And what you're going to do is you're going to play that shot most likely with your thorn. You're going to play some backspin, and you're just going to try to aim the edge of that ball guide right up there at the hole, and just try to roll it in there. It's going to be a very tough shot. I don't foresee a lot of people hitting the eagle on this shot, unless they're a very seasoned player who just really dials this shot in. Because even trying to dunk the shot with the thorn with such an elevation change is going to be very, very difficult. So I would definitely keep my eyes peeled on the community boards during the week and see if maybe somebody figures it out and shares a tip that may help you shave a stroke off your game here on this hole. So let's see here. That is all for this hole. All right. Moving on to our next hole. Hole number 6. And hole number 6 is a par 5. So par 5, hole number 6. Now, for this hole right here, it is actually a fairly straightforward hole. I would say your extra mile, you want to use your driver with the most power because you're also going to want to use a power 3 ball at least, because it's going to take every bit of that top spin and power to be able to land your tee shot here and hop over the rough to this fairway, land it about there, and you want to roll out to that zone right there. From there, you will have a second shot. Now make sure you do make an adjustment for that tee shot. It's about a plus 20% adjustment for the downhill shot, so plus 20% on the tee. And then if you're able to reach that second fairway to where that larger circle is, your second shot towards the green is going to be at about a -5% adjustment, okay? Not minus, plus 5% adjustment. We're going downhill still. So basically what you want to do here is you want to bring the big dog. I tried it with the Viper. I didn't have quite the top spin with the Viper. So with the big dog, give you a little bit more top spin. You want at least 3 bars of top spin. Is actually going to be doing the rough bump. You're going to land it right about there. Okay? With at least 3 bars of top spin and trying to roll that ball out the fairway or out the rough and towards the green. I'm not sure at what point the Viper gets more top spin. I only had 2 bars on mine, and it was a level 7, I think. And that was not enough. We were able to get to the green with the roll, but we didn't give ourselves a legitimate chance of rolling it into the hole. So that's why I say the big dog will be the better play there to give you a full chance at the rough bump for that shot. Now, let's say you have a club that's off the tee box and you can't make that shot to that second fairway. It is possible it could happen. Your play would be to take your tee shot to the right side. And what you're going to do there is using curl, you're going to go curl it around this edge, try to roll it into this zone right here. You'll still be playing the same plus 20% adjustment for the wind. The only difference is your second shot is actually going to be a little bit tougher. It looks like there's a lot of trees right there, but there is a pathway through these trees to the hole. So definitely that's going to be your play if you play it to the right side. It takes out your chances at probably getting the albatross on this hole, but you still have a really good chance of getting the eagle. I don't foresee that being the case where we have to really do that play in the rookie. I think we'll get a decent tailwind, probably a right to left tailwind or something like that. And I think most of us will be able to make that jump across. I was able to make that jump across with my extra mile 5. And if you watch my video, you can see the way I played that hole. I played it with the Viper, and I was just a bit short because of my lack of topspin on that shot. All right. Next hole is hole number 7, coming to the end of our guide here. And it's a par 3. Now this is, I would say, probably the toughest par 3 on the course. We will play this one with a plus 10% adjustment for the wind. It's going downhill. And I would say you want to use a Quasar or a Katana ball. Oh, again, you want a ball with spin. And I would say go with the backbone for your long iron, a little bit better accuracy-wise, and I think gives you a little bit better chance to put that ball right at the hole. Now, the two options you have is to play it to the right or to the left. We'll first talk about the left option. If you're taking your shot off the tee, you're going to land it somewhere in that zone right there. Sorry for the crooked line. But you're going to be landing it in somewhere in that zone right there. Now, you do want to watch out for these trees. There we go. This tree line right here. It does have a chance to interfere with your shot, so you do want to make sure you do aim that target a little bit farther to the left of those trees. You may want to use a little bit of curl, and you're definitely going to want to use a ball with side spin on this shot because you want to use that right spin to kind of direct that ball back towards the hole. There is a ridge on the back of this this hole that does slope back down towards the hole, so you can definitely use that if you need to use that on that shot. But I think the shot that most people are going to be using is a shot to the right side. You can use the Quasar or Katana for this one, and basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be landing your shot somewhere in that zone right there. Okay, and then from there we're going to get a bounce off over and roll it to the hole. Now, the way you're going to play this shot spin-wise will definitely depend on what kind of wind we see for this hole. I would say if you have a left to right wind on this hole, I would definitely say you're going to use your max left spin. If you have a right to left wind, you're not going to use max left spin, but you'll probably use about 4 to 5 bars of left spin. And if you have a tailwind or a headwind, you're still going to use max left spin. I would say in the rookie division, you probably aren't going to even need to worry about any kind of top spin or back spin. The few times I played this hole, I didn't use any spin and I was fine. So, unless you get into the round and you realize, yeah, I maybe need a little bit of top spin or a little bit of back spin, I wouldn't start off adjusting it with any kind of spin, up or down. But yeah, definitely that left spin is going to play a key role in this shot. It's just such a weird shot. The whole slope of that face is sloping from right to left on that bounce. So it's going to be tough to find like a very consistent landing spot throughout the tournament. It's going to be one of those where maybe you find a certain waypoint with maybe the edge of your one of your rings touching like the rough or something like that, and that's a good way to consistently land in the same spot, is to use those rings of your target. Maybe let's just say maybe your white ring is barely touching the edge of this this rough line right there, and that would be an aiming point right there. So you just write that down in your notes. Right side of the white ring touches rough or something like that, and that's definitely one way that you could go about making sure that you continue to land a consistent spot throughout the tournament. In fact, a lot of people that play this game that are very successful in this game use aiming points for every hole. I mean, they'll use trees. A lot of people use the edge of their targets, like I just mentioned. We got the blue ring, the red ring, the yellow ring. You can use all of those rings and just kind of touch them up to a specific spot. Usually a rough line, something that you can go back to and see and remember. So definitely keep that in mind when you are playing your round and setting up your shots. So look for those specific aiming points. Definitely a good tip there for a tournament play. All right, so that is hole number 8. Now that's hole number 7. That's hole number 7. So now we're moving on to hole number 8. And hole number 8 is a par 4. This hole right here could be very interesting depending on the kind of wind that we get. I would definitely say you want to be using your Titan ball. And well, first I'm going to talk about going left or to the right. You can go left or to the right, big topper if you go left. Basically, you just take your shot up the side here, land it in here, try to roll it up here. You want to make sure you get past that line and have a straight shot to the hole. Same way here. If you're going to go to the right side, land it somewhere in here and roll up to there. Make sure you get past that line and have a straight shot to the hole. If you want to play to either of those spots, you're going to play about a plus 30% adjustment for a very severe downhill shot to the green, much like one of the greens in the beginning of the course. So minus 30% on that shot, not minus 30%, plus 30%. I don't know why I keep saying that. Plus 30% for this shot or that shot going down to the green, okay? So your second shot, plus 30% if you go far left or if you go far right. Please remember that. Plus 30%. Don't know why. I'm just having trouble saying plus and minus today. All right, so let's see. I'm going to actually reset this now. So that's the left and to the right way. Now, if we get a very nice wind, there is a possibility that we can land our shot here and go through the trees and hit and roll onto the fairway, maybe the green, somewhere in there. Now, the way you're going to play that shot would be with probably a big topper, because that's going to be the only club that you possess in the rookie that will have the topspin needed to do that shot. And you want to have a good amount of topspin, at least 6 bars of topspin for that shot. You know, there is also a possibility of a shot to play if you are playing maybe in a higher level rookie division. Maybe you're just playing, you know, you're a pro or expert level player, but you're playing in the rookie for some reason. Maybe you don't have a lot of coins. You know, you can play a curl shot here where you're laying it somewhere in here and you're bouncing over as well and rolling down as well. And that would be a full left spin and using some backspin on that shot right there. A higher level Thor would probably be the best way to do that. But most 90% of the people in this tournament of the rookie will not be able to play that shot. And the shot with the big topper with 6 bars of topspin will be your shot to play if you want to go for that shot. Otherwise, you know, play your shots to this way here or over here. Use the plus 30% for your second shot to the hole, and it's going to be a very tough shot for the eagle for sure. Hole number 9, last and final hole, and this is a par 5 to end the course. So I would definitely say going with the extra mile, the big dog in the rookie for sure. You know, you could possibly bring the Viper or the Guardian if you want to as well. And I would say going with the Power 3 ball, Titan ball for this shot right here. Basically, the way we're going to play this shot for the rookie, I don't think going to the left side is going to be in the cards, because you really got to get your ball somewhere down here to have a straight-on shot to the hole. So I think the way to play this hole will be to the right side. And basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be playing your shot here. You're going to bounce it off the rough here and just roll it onto the fairway here. That'll be your way to play this shot right here. Your other option would be to play your shot to the fairway here and use some topspin to roll it up to that same position. I think the rough bump is going to be your safer play, and it's going to give you the better positioning to make your second shot to the green. And I would play that with a 10% additional adjustment for the wind going downhill for that shot. For your second shot here, which is going to be the way, you know, if you have the big dog, you're going to be able to bounce it straight over here. You're going to use probably about 3 bars of topspin, and you're going to roll it through this this neck here and onto the green for a very easy eagle, possible albatross chance. Now, if your drive isn't quite as good, maybe you're a little bit farther in the fairway on your drive, you may have to possibly bounce your shot off this little fairway here. In that case, you want to use full topspin to try to roll your ball as far up in the fairway as possible to give yourself a wedge shot to the green for the possible eagle shot. So it's really imperative that your drive puts you far up in that first fairway to the right, because that sets you up for a second shot where instead of having to bump it off that second fairway right here, you can take it up to the third fairway and have a really good chance of getting to the green. So that is the way I would play this hole in the rookie. I wouldn't even worry about that left side if I was playing in the rookie with rookie clubs. So that has been the tutorial for the fall major. Hopefully y'all do well, get out there and practice. And definitely check us out on Facebook at Golf Clash the 19th Hole if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you all out there on Monday, where I will be doing my rookie, I'll do a pro, and I will be doing expert qualifying rounds. I will be doing a rookie quick playthrough as well, like I did last tournament, because that was a big hit. And good luck to you all.